Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is wrapping up his five-nation trip to Africa by visiting South Africa. He has said that China is going to step up its cooperation with Africa from more economic assistance to more bilaterally mutually beneficial cooperative projects. However, economic assistance has always been a very important cornerstone of China's relationship with Africa, and medical assistance makes up a huge part of that. While I was in Africa, people told me, if you go into the most remote corners or the most remote jungles of Africa, you can find two Chinese persons. One is selling some small things like batteries, and the other a doctor. So what is life like for those Chinese doctors thousands of miles away from their home? I talked to Ms. Qian Shuang, a volunteer for a Chinese medical team in Lesotho. How long did you spend altogether in Africa?
I think 2 years and 1 month.
Very exact. You just went to Lesotho?
This 2 years and 1 month, exactly the time I spent in Lesotho. But the time I spent in the Chinese medical team is more than that. Because from April, I went to the Hubei Health Ministry. I went there, and then I studied with the doctors because we needed to learn the medical English.
Tell me what exactly you were doing, and what did you see the Chinese doctors were doing in Lesotho?
Lesotho, it's okay, doctors, of course, treating the patients. That's the main job of us. We went there. We have 6 doctors in our Chinese medical team, and then a chef who cook for us, and then me, the interpreter. The 6 doctors from different departments. They are specialists. They're from the gynecologist, orthopedist, and then the radiologist, and then the anesthetist. Another one is the physician. The most important one is that the traditional Chinese doctor, acupuncture doctor. So there are 6 doctors in our team, and every day the 6 doctors and me, we worked in the hospital in the different departments. We worked together with the local doctors and nurses. And so during the daytime, from 7 o'clock until the 4:30 o'clock in the afternoon, we work together in the different departments of the hospital.
I can imagine it's very difficult for the local people to get medical care. What kind of difficulties have you encountered? Have the Chinese doctors encountered?
That's the risk of get infected. That's very dangerous.
I can imagine that the medical facility was also not very developed.
Very poor, very poor. And then I think we have got 2 tragedies there. The first thing is that the gynecologist who was doing Caesar section there, a woman got difficulty when giving birth to her baby, so we needed to do Caesar section for her, and then suddenly the scalpel, her hand, her fingers was broken by it, and then the knife, yes, a scalpel. You need to cut the stomach of the patient, and then she was HIV positive.
She got infected?
Not infected, but that moment her gloves was broken by that scalpel. And then it's possible that she may be infected. She might be infected by that, the blood of the patient. But we did the test before the patient was sent into the operation room. We know that she was positive HIV. So suddenly, and then she went back home. We can imagine if we touch a patient who was HIV, and then you maybe touch your hand was broken, and then you touch the blood of the HIV patient, you might got infected. So the psychology, what would she think in her mind? And then I think she was a very good doctor, and she has got very professional training. She knows that what to do next. So she went because we have a department in a local hospital. If people get infected, or maybe get infected, you can get some, stopping procedures, stop you from being infected. You need to eat the tablets to stop that things. Yeah. So she was very brave and very calm down.
Yeah, and in the end, did she?
No, she didn't.
She was fine. But the risk is always there, and there is the fear that you might get infected because so many people have HIV. Did people get frustrated, or how do you say, that they want to come back to China, they want to leave Lesotho because of this harshness, this difficult working environment?
To be honest, that happens sometimes, but it's not that easy because it's too far away. For myself, even the HIV risk is also there. Before I went there, I searched the internet, Baidu, everything about that place, and they told I found many information about the HIV. But the doctor, they're very kind. They told me that don't be worried about that because you're just standing and speak. You don't need to touch the people, the patient, right? But actually, the reality is totally different. Because when I got there, sometimes the first thing is that sometimes because there lack of personnel, not enough nurses or doctors. I need to go to the operation room. I need to help the patient. I need to be an assistant.
You needed to do everything.
I need to do in different departments. In the operation room, I pull the leg for the orthopedic doctor. I need to, sometimes to assist the nurse to get the different instruments.
So you were much more exposed to any potential threat.
And sometimes when my translation got slow, I was very quick-tempered. And then I touched the wound to the doctor. He's saying here, he's not feeling well, this place. And the doctor, no, just stand by. You don't need to touch it. Because the doctor has gloves in
and
his
you
hand.
touched it with your bare hand.
Yes.
Yeah, but did you ever feel that you wanted to give up? Was it too difficult, or were you afraid, or did it ever occur to you that you didn't want to continue?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I was there, and sometimes when even communication problems, since I arrived there at the first 2 weeks, it's because you know that we are English majors in the school. Language is written in the book. We are not using it really. So I just arrived there, the language problem, I was even not there to take up the phone. But actually 2 weeks later, I make everything in my way. I can talk to people, to talk to different doctors, patients very freely. So why I shouldn't give up? I think that is not my habit. When I face a problem, I go to face it and then make everything in my way.
How many patients did the Chinese doctors treat altogether while you were there? Did you count?
I did count.
You did?
Because sometimes we need to take that data for the future analysis. But I forgot about that exact number. But every day I can say that for the physician doctor, because the physician doctor is our team leader. Every day about, I think, 50 patients.
50?
Yes. Yeah. Every day at least. The patients were waiting outside.
What did the local people, what did the patients and the local doctors think of the Chinese doctors?
Okay, we can say this from the doctor's side and from the patient's side. From the patient side, that because patients we care most, right? We were there for them. Every day the patients, there are many different doctors from different countries, from Congo, from Myanmar, from Philippines, and then every doctor has his own office. And then the doctors will wait in the queue for the Chinese doctor. I want Dr. Xiao, I want the Chinese doctor. They trust the Chinese doctors more, I think. And then for the doctors, the local doctors or the doctors from other countries, from Congo, they come to the Chinese doctor. Because doctors are also persons, they may get sick sometimes.
They may get sick, okay,
right?
So they come to the Chinese doctor
Yes.
to treat their own sicknesses, yeah.
Especially the arthritis, because local people of the cold weather, I think the way they're wearing their clothes is not right. So they get arthritis. And then they go to the Chinese doctor, especially the traditional Chinese doctor, get acupuncture and then cupping treatment. Because that kind of disease, for the local hospital, they don't have that kind of medicine to treat that kind of disease.
Yeah. How do you think these medical doctors have changed the perception of the local people of China, of Chinese people in general? Do you think it has done something?
I think we have done something. We do everything for free. The hospitals, we don't take anything. And then the government, we even bring medicine to them, give them medicine, we work there, and then we bring the traditional Chinese medicine and doctors there to help them. They know more about China. Besides the treatment, we give lectures to the doctors and nurses. We share with them with the modern advanced Chinese medicine techniques with the doctors. And then the third thing is that because of the language, I think there are 3 doctors, they are very good at English. They can speak very good English, and then they can communicate with the local people. Because you know that many Chinese businessmen, they don't speak very good English. Even some don't speak. So they cannot communicate with the local people. But a Chinese doctor, the local people respect us very much. Because after work, during the free time after work, about in the afternoon, after meal supper, we took a walk outside. And then the local people greet us from far away. Hi, Chinese doctor, you're there. What are you doing here? Very friendly. They respect the doctors very much.